Good morning, you guys. I really debated making a video about this just because it's very personal and I don't want it to feel exploitative in any way. And also, too, as a spiritual coach, it's kind of my job to guide people through different emotional journeys and spiritual journeys, things like that. But I really wanted to be completely transparent because while that is my job and while I do feel like I'm very good at my job, I'm also a human being, and I think that's what makes me good at my job. I also experience loss and struggles and challenges in my life, and I think my ability to be aware and to work through those with the tools that I have and then also teach other people just makes me better at what I do. So just wanted to say that as like a weird opening disclaimer before I really dove into today's topic. This was one of the hardest weeks of my life. It's really up there. I'm struggling just to even talk. I had to say goodbye to my best friend on Thanksgiving. For those of you that know me, Gatsby is a very big part of my life. He has been. I kept saying in social media that he was 7. I did the math. He's actually closer to like 9, I think. Another weird thing. I think grief just distorts your sense of time or something. Or maybe it was wishful thinking. I was just wishing we had more time together. But I wanted to talk about grief and how losing a pet is just as impactful as losing a family member sometimes. They are such a huge part of your life. It's okay to talk about them. In fact, if you want to talk about them, please do so in the comments of this video. Tell me your stories of the pets that you've lost. Tell me how amazing they were, their quirks, the things that made you laugh. I think it's actually a really beautiful way to honor their memory, because even though their time with us is very short, it's so meaningful. I'm somebody that 100% believes in soulmates. So I was sitting like this, and he curled up in this little nook all by himself. Tell me soulmates don't exist. I feel like we have so many different kinds of soulmates. Friend soulmates and musical soulmates and people we just happen to recognize and really click with, and sometimes they're romantic. We lose a piece of that beauty if we only create soulmates in a romantic perspective, because at least from where I stand, we're all kind of a part of this larger consciousness. We're all made of stardust. We're all just floating through space, kind of coming together and sharing our time on this planet. I'm so thankful that I had the time that I got to spend with Gatsby, and he was 1,000,000% my soulmate. Through and through, in and out. I don't know if I'll ever love anybody the way that I love that cat. I had to applaud myself for getting ready today because I've been very much in the thick of grieving this week. And I want you guys to know that it's okay to give yourselves permission to do that. Even if it's just a cat or just a dog or just a bird, whatever animal you have that's made its way into your heart. I hear you, I see you, you're valid. I selfishly was wishing oh Gatsby, reincarnate, come back to me. I think anything's possible, and I know that that's my grieving brain trying to process and maybe bargain. It did happen very suddenly. He had an underlying condition we didn't know about, and it just kind of came on very quickly. We had about 24 hours to just figure out what we were gonna do. I want you to know that it's okay to honor their memory and to feel what you're feeling and to go through what you need to go through to get to a space of healing. I'm not there yet. I think I'm always gonna feel this way about him because his loss was so huge. I look around even parts of my room and I still imagine his memory there. And even though I've only lived here for 3 months, he's definitely made an imprint in this space. I love knowing that there's a part of his memory here. It does feel like you've lost a body part or a limb. A really big part of my heart went with him when I said goodbye. Grief sucks. It really does. It's really painful. I'm such a researcher, my whatever Aquarius brain or something. I'm reading all these articles online of what to do when you lose a pet, how to work through this grief, and I'm trying to educate myself. I came across this quote, "Prepare yourselves," because I literally just started sobbing when I read it, but it was when they die, a piece of you goes with them. And I just think that that's the truest thing. He has really big shoes to fill, and I don't know that anyone ever will be able to fill them, and it's not anyone's job to fill them. I know that someday when I feel like I'm in a better space, I might welcome another cat into my life. I have a weakness for cats. I love them all. If I could adopt 50 of them and give them all the love and care that I could, then I would. But for now, I really want to just appreciate and honor his memory and know that it's no one's job to replace him. No one ever will. And that's okay. I can love another cat for who they are and their quirks and their charm and their personality. And that's kind of the beauty of loss, it just makes you appreciate what you have in the present so much more. It seemed very fitting that he passed on Thanksgiving. Just our relationship was so special, and I don't know if we subconsciously knew that our time together would be short. I told him every day, like, I'm so thankful you're mine. Do you know how important you are to me? Do you know that you're my best friend? Ooh. I'm not somebody that likes crying in front of people. I always encourage it with my clients, with my friends, with my family. I love being able to help people through like deep emotions like this because I know how challenging it is to express them. Thank you if you're watching this video for giving me the space to express what I'm feeling. I guess I really just wanted to show like it's okay to grieve. Having a, hyper positivity perspective of like, oh, it was meant to be, or oh, like he's in a better place. Like those are beautiful things to say and think, but it doesn't eradicate the need to feel what you feel. That's just my personal way of experiencing loss. We all experience loss in a different way. And even if you did lose a pet and decide to go and get another one in like a short amount of time, I want you to know that's okay too. It's valid. There's no right amount of time to welcome another animal into your life. Sometimes it can actually be very healing for the both of you. That animal might need a home and they might need healing, and you might need to love a little critter, and that can be healing for your grief. The only thing I recommend is just not to expect them to be like the one you lost. This is a new little being that deserves to be loved for who they are too. I still speak to him too in the house. Like I still talk out loud to him. I'll sometimes think that I feel his presence around, and I'll talk to him out loud and I'll say, hey bud, like how you doing? What's up? Mornings are the hardest because I used to wake up with him every morning cuddling in my arms. I think he taught me so much more, not just about how to love others, but how to love myself, because all he offered was just unconditional love. I just want you to know that if you're grieving today, you lost someone recently or even a long time ago, everybody's grief looks different. Everyone's process to healing looks different. You may never be completely healed. Grief does change over time. In any of the losses that I've experienced in my life, I do know that it gets better. The grief never really goes away, but it does change form. Oftentimes, the bigger the grief, the bigger the love that you experience with the individual that you lost. So it sucks and it hurts, but it's also really beautiful, and it's a gift and a testament to how much your bond had affected you. And however you choose to honor that person, maybe you get a painting of them. I'm looking at tattoos right now. I'm definitely gonna get something for him because you hear my stomach? I'm definitely gonna get something for him because he definitely changed my life. One of the things that I'm learning right now is that it's okay to find joy even though you are grieving. Just because you lost someone doesn't mean you're not allowed to experience laughter or love or happiness. In fact, the ones that we lost always want us to have that. I don't think they would ever choose for us to be sad. So, as my little homework assignment to my wonderful watchers who have lost someone, if you're struggling with grief right now, do something that shows that you love yourself. I made a video a couple weeks back talking about self-love. It can be as simple as going to Target and buying yourself a candle. For others, it might just be getting out of bed and doing your makeup. When you're grieving, I know how hard it is to want to take care of yourself. I think the first couple days after I lost Gatsby, it was really, really hard for me to want to eat. Make sure to nourish yourself. I'm working on that right now. When you cry, it releases endorphins, so it's actually physically as well as emotionally very cleansing for you. So let it out. Wherever they are, they love you. Maybe you've already received a sign from the loved one that's passed, or maybe you're just waiting for one back. Just know that it'll find you when the timing's right. The first night after Gatsby passed, I had a dream about him. Nobody else could see him but me in my dream, and I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, nobody can see him. Oh my god, my grief is making me hallucinate. Maybe it was his little spirit coming back to let me know he was okay, because he was just being himself and laying around and looking around and like wanting me to pet him and totally just being him. Do what you gotta do. Heal how you gotta heal, but love yourself along the way. Support you guys. I love you guys. Have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time.